working in print first was the best way to go for graphic design, because print design is the harder out of the two. I'll just go into a retail job, chip away for now until I get some epiphany of what I want to do. I have to wear the hat of like doing all the networking, going out and meeting people, doing the admin, getting back to people's emails, doing my own accounts, my own tax return.
Hello everybody and welcome to another Fishers on the Case. This is the podcast where we talk to legal and industry experts and business owners about their career. My name is Amanda Payne and I'm the CEO of Fishers Solicitors here in Ashby de la Zouch. So today joining me I have Sophie Allen from Serrano Media. Hello Sophie.
Hello.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us. So just tell me first of all a little bit about Serrano Media.
So Serrano Media specialises in graphic design and brand design.
Okay.
And I also provide social media management and marketing solutions for small to medium businesses.
Okay, brilliant. So we're going to go back a bit now then. So when you were still at school and leaving school, what happened? Did you always want to get into marketing?
I didn't actually know that I wanted to go into marketing.
Okay.
I did graphic design and product design for GCSEs and product design A-level, but so I knew I was always going to be creative, but I didn't know that I was necessarily going to go into that career. I didn't know what I wanted to do when I left.
Like so many, I think.
Yeah, and that's why when I left, I just I fell into a retail job where I was like, I need to get a job. I'm going to do something. So I don't know what I want to do. I'll just go into a retail job, chip away for now until I get some epiphany of what I want to do. And that's kind of what happened, yeah.
Okay, brilliant. So when did you start the company? How long ago?
About 2.5 years ago now.
Okay,
yeah.
But where did you gain your experience then? You must have worked before then.
Yeah, so I've been in marketing for almost 10 years. I started off in graphic design, working at a print house in Swadlincote. And I went from being a print assistant and shop assistant to learning graphic design from the graphic designers there. And that was really great, really hands-on experience, because I thought when I was in a job before this, I thought I want to do something I enjoy. I need to do something creative. I want to go into graphic design. So that's why I'd handed my CV in at the print house, and they were like, oh, maybe you can progress to that. So, that was a great opportunity for the graphic designers to then train me up, and then I started doing that there.
Okay. You say graphic design. Can you just break that down for me and just tell me a bit more about what that is?
It encompasses a lot, I guess.
Okay.
So that could be anything from brand design, so designing logos, to to leaflets, point of sale, banners, digital design. I do a lot of social media templates, so that clients can just kind of drag a new photo in and put some text in, but I will preset all of the right fonts, the right colours, and the design around that, so that it's just really easy for them to access. So it is a very broad term, but and it encompasses a lot. But it's very fun.
So when you decided to go on your own, did you seek the advice of a lawyer or accountant? Do you have terms of business? How did all that work?
I actually consulted my own partner.
Okay.
Because he was self-employed for 5 years before myself.
Okay.
And he's kind of already gone through all of that. So I was like, how do I do this? Yeah.
His templates.
Yeah. And so he helped me get set up to start with. And then I'm quite fortunate to have not really had to have reached out for too much legal help. But when it comes to things like contracts, I was a member of the FSB, and they have their legal service where you can call if you need a hand, or you can go to their templates and kind of download one and make that your own. Yeah, so that was quite nice to have. Yeah,
that they offer. Yeah. So who influenced you then in your career so far? Can you pinpoint anybody?
I would definitely say the graphic designers from my first job influenced me. They showed me the ropes, and very much I think working in print first was the best way to go for graphic design, because print design is the harder out of the two.
Okay.
For digital and print. Learning how a printer works and how the colour works for a printer. So you design in CMYK values for the inks rather than
Now you're getting technical,
RGB.
aren't you? Yeah.
But certain design would come out differently when you print it. If you were to design in red, green, blue, RGB,
Yeah.
that's more for web colours, and it's
Okay.
not going to translate well to a printer, and it's going to come out looking completely different to what it's
Oh, is
supposed
it?
to look like, or to what
So-
it looks like on a screen. But
Okay.
also, I remember one time we'd printed a leaflet, and we couldn't work out why there was a white box around this little monster, because it had a clear background on the screen. And through those designers, we'd like worked out between us. He was like, "I've not rasterized it," and I'm like, "What does that mean?"
Yeah, what
So
does
he's
that
like,
mean?
"Got to flatten it, and then the computer's not picking it up as a separate entity and giving it a different background." So
Oh, right, okay.
working with them definitely opened my eyes, and
Mm.
I definitely wouldn't be where I am without
No.
them.
Okay.
No.
So how do you meet people to get new clients?
Networking.
Okay.
So from day one, I've been networking. The power in networking is just incredible. Getting to know people, especially in the local area, like with Ashby Connect. That was one of the first networking things I started going to, and it
Yeah.
was really great to meet the number of people there that I have
Yeah.
over the last 2.5
And
years.
has that got you new business
It
through?
has got me new
Oh, that's
business,
fantastic.
new business and new friends.
Yeah.
So one of my dearest friends I met through Ashby Connect, and it was because we never expected to work together. So we kind of were like, right, well, I can't necessarily do work for you because your charity doesn't typically use contractors.
Okay.
So there's clearly like a spark here of friendship. We got along so well from the get-go. And I remember we talked the whole time at this Ashby
Did
Connect
you? Oh,
for
that's
like
so
the whole
nice.
2 hours. And then
Yeah.
we realised we should probably go talk to somebody else.
Yeah.
And then we ended up coming back to each
Yeah.
other.
Oh, that's nice.
So we were like,
And still good friends now.
yeah, because we never expected anything professionally. We were like, let's make this a friendship. We clearly
Yeah.
get along so well. And you know what? Making friendships when you're an adult, it's not easy. It's not easy. So we were like, yeah, let's just go for it.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
yeah,
brilliant.
still very good friends.
So if you weren't doing what you're doing now in your marketing world, what do you think you might be doing? What would be a second choice career?
I think I would still be in the arts.
Okay,
But I think
yeah.
I would go into maybe theatre or performing.
Okay, yeah.
I do sing myself, and at school was in the choir and did all the open mic nights. I was in a band as well.
Were you?
Gosh,
Singer in a band.
yes,
Oh,
singer in a band.
fantastic.
Just in high school.
Yes.
And that was all good fun. So I think I'd have ended up being creative some way, shape, or form, 100%. But maybe ended up in the arts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, brilliant. So, now, what else can I ask you here? Do you employ anybody? It's just you in the business,
I
is it, at the
don't.
moment?
I am a sole
At the
trader,
moment.
yes.
You could grow. What is the biggest headache that you face being a sole trader? Is there one? Is there something that's
Having to wear every single hat.
okay?
That's the biggest headache.
Okay, explain that then a bit more. What do you mean?
So I guess when you're employed, if you're employed as a graphic designer, you're going to work, you do a bit of graphic design, you go home.
Yeah.
But as much as that's like the main part of my job, I have to wear the hat of like doing all the networking, going out and meeting people, doing the admin, getting back to people's emails, doing my own accounts, my own tax return that I've had to learn how to. Again, I will turn around to my partner and be like, can you help me with this? Because you've got a bit of experience. So hopefully 3rd year in a row, I'm like,
you're there now.
A bit more on it. Yeah. But looking at it the first year, I was like, what? But because typically, even though I've been self-employed since I was 15, I'd never, because it was always on the side doing some painting things and crafting.
Oh, yes.
I typically never earned over that £1,000 threshold every year, so didn't really have to do a tax return. And the first year that I had to do a tax return was, I think, when I had Serrano, and that was a very
Yes.
new experience.
Yeah. Don't these banks offer like apps and tools to help you when you open your business account? Do you get any help from the banks on
Um,
anything like that? No?
I don't. No, I
No,
don't think
don't need
so.
to. No.
No,
Okay.
I
Well, I don't know.
benefit from the little pots that they let you put in.
Yes.
So I've got a little tax
Oh,
pot
have you?
that I put
Yes.
20% in
Yeah.
of everything, and that's
Make
very
sure you
handy.
save
But
enough.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, no, good
Even if
idea.
you don't need to pay that full 20%, I'm still putting the 20% aside, because there are other things that crop up at the end of that tax return, aren't there?
Yeah.
National insurance and stuff like that. And I find that the 20% usually just covers all of it.
Yeah.
So
So you don't
yeah.
have to worry then, do
I'm
you?
like, I'll just put 20% in. Anything I get back is a bonus.
Yeah, exactly. So in your business then, how would you measure your own success?
Ooh, that's a very good question. Measuring success, I think, it can come financially, but for me, I think it comes from the people that I meet and the clients that I've got.
Okay.
So I feel successful because I have such wonderful clients,
Uh-huh.
and they are all so kind. And I think that for me, it kind of tops everything, because my clients give me a lot of grace. They understand me. They understand that I have a neurodiversity as well, and that I work some very strange hours sometimes. Sometimes I can be working till 3, 4 in the
Oh, wow.
morning. They know, like, I'll probably send an email or schedule if I schedule an email for 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm not awake.
Yeah.
But they know that, and they also know that I'm unlikely to be on time. So we set like, oh, yeah, I'll be there around this time. But
Okay.
that's because of the ADHD, the neurodiversity.
Yeah.
And I
But you can
communicate
work
that
around
with
that.
them,
Yeah.
and they understand that,
yeah.
and they're very accommodating, and vice versa. But the relationships I've got with my clients is very special, and yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Well, you were here on time today, weren't you,
I
Sophie?
know.
So
I almost
no
wasn't.
issue there.
I tricked myself
Did you?
into thinking that I needed to be here for 3, and
Okay. Gave yourself
so
some leeway.
if I needed to be here for 3, I'd have been late.
Yeah.
But
Very good. Good tip. So you know a little bit about Fishers. As you say, you've attended our Ashby Connect event. How would you describe Fishers in 3 words?
In 3 words,
From what you know about us so far.
I think influential, definitely. Friendly. And just familiar.
Okay.
Familiar from a sense of, like, I don't even have to know the people that work at Fishers to have a really nice chat with them, and then become familiar very quickly.
Yes.
Because they are also friendly, and it's always really nice to see them at Ashby Connect.
Yeah.
But I'd say influential from the point of view of, I know that you guys do Ashby Connect, and that's a huge thing. The turnout every month is excellent. But you also tend to sponsor your Christmas tree and stuff, and
We
stuff
do.
around Ashby,
Yeah.
and really get involved in that community work, which I think is very
Yeah.
special, very
Oh, thank you.
important.
Very kind. Thank you. So turning the tables a bit then, is there anything that you'd like to ask me? I've asked you lots of questions about you and your career.
Oh my gosh. I wasn't prepared for
No.
this.
I'd like to surprise you with a few little different things. Is there anything?
How did you become CEO?
Because I'm the oldest. I'm the most senior now of all the partners. But it's always been a desire of mine to be able to have that sort of role.
Yeah.
And to help grow and develop the business. Sometimes when you work in the business and not on the business, that's different.
Yeah.
So it's been nice to have time to be able to do that.
How does it feel being a female CEO?
It's great. Yeah. I'm not particularly. It doesn't matter if I'm male or female. I'm just happy to have got to this position, really. Yeah. But yeah, I know there aren't many of us. I do know that.
No, that's it. It's
when you get to top of management, it is still mostly a male environment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Although at Fishers we've got 3 female directors and 1 male, so we do buck the trend here at Fishers.
Yeah,
Which
I
is
love
nice.
it.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. What advice would you give for somebody first setting up a business?
So someone setting up a brand new business, I would make sure that they got all their ducks in a row in terms of their legal paperwork, their accountancy paperwork, and their banking, and they've taken proper advice. Obviously, it depends on what sort of business it is, because some businesses won't need any terms of business or contract law information, but some might. So it just, make sure that all their arrangements are watertight.
Yeah.
And they know what they're doing, and they know what tax to save, and they know, go and talk to the accountants or whoever you need to talk to get everything right from the start, really.
Yeah.
To make sure that you don't fall foul of any problems, or you get into any hot water and then you need a lawyer for a dispute which you could have avoided had everything been right from the beginning.
Of course.
So that would be my advice. Just get it all right from day one, so you know that whatever people are entering into discussions and arrangements with you, that it's watertight.
Yeah.
And you've protected, really, I suppose, is the best thing.
Yeah, and then you don't have to worry.
Shouldn't have to worry. Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you very much, Sophie, for joining us today, and it's great to learn about what you do. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. It's been
you're
really
welcome.
great.
Thank you.